Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to Swoody Craft. We're back today with some Space Engineers. The beta release just came out the other day, and I figured, let's start a Let's Play, I had my my Space Engineers series that went on for a little while, and that's fun, and I might come back to it if I get any viewer desires for it. But I figured, I love playing the game. I play the game all the time. Why not start recording some of the playing and upload them as episodes, Give you guys an opportunity to see what I do when I'm not streaming. Yeah, I figured it'd be good. Take our helmet off since we've got plenty of oxygen out here. I think we're going to head over to this lake. So, what I've done, or what I do a lot of times when I'm playing Space Engineers is I usually rush to build, a ship or a spaceship, or, well, not necessarily a spaceship, but like an atmospheric ship to fly around with. Because the vehicles are just, I don't know, they tend to break so much. Maybe it's because I have my settings for wheels wrong. I don't know. But they tend to break a lot, so I always start out with a little car and then I almost immediately upgrade to a flying ship. And I don't even bother usually building a base. And so I've been watching some of the other YouTube peoples lately, and I really, I see the way they put so much thought and stuff into their bases, and I'm just thinking, that seems like a really cool idea, and I would really like to make a big, sprawling, metropolitan-type base on the planet. So I figure that's what we're going to do with this Let's Play. We're going to start out and we're going to make a nice, actually well-designed base. And, once we get enough resources and the base is all completed, then we'll build ourselves a rocket ship and we'll get up into space, and I think we'll try and build a nice little base type that on each one of the planets, or at least that's the goal. We'll see if it actually makes it that far, but that's the goal. So we'll start out on the regular planet. I did have wolves disabled. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're going to line up with this lake here, and I will come back. I'm going to fly myself over to the edge of this lake here, and then I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Alright, guys, I've arrived at the edge of the lake. Try and scout out a good location for the base to start. What I'm thinking is I might actually, so I kind of like to have one that overlooks the water, or the frozen lake, since we don't really have water in Space Engineers, but I'm thinking I want to build a base kind of like off on the cliff here, where it's overlooking the lake, and maybe right next to this ravine, because we can make a nice, like decorative bridge that goes over the ravine, and we can have another facility over here, maybe I don't know, vehicle bay or a hangar bay or something like that. I think that'd be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and land over here, and what we'll do is we'll take the highest part of the land here, and that's where we will start the base. That'll be the highest point in the area, so we won't have to worry about the ground climbing up and getting in the way of our construction. So I'm going to flip around here so that I can actually access that part. And let's see, we want to get our auto locks on here. I do really like the new landing gear design. It looks more like a boot. Alright, there we go. Cool. Thrusters are shut down. That will save some of our battery power. Let's go exploring. And we're going to end up dismantling a lot of this ship, obviously, to get the parts we're going to need to build our base. But we'll go ahead and start out with we'll grab some of the steel plates and we'll set up a nice power system. Alright, we don't need any ammo. I have the wolves disabled. Hopefully there's nothing else is going to pop out and start attacking me, I hope. So we'll get that here momentarily. Let's see, so we got some steel plates that'll be good for starting the base. I'm going to go ahead and consolidate all of our parts into this one chest. And actually, I want to consolidate them into this other chest. So let's go cargo 2. We'll put everything in that cargo number 2. And what we'll do is we'll start dismantling some of the ship. get us some goodies. So now that everything in cargo 2, we can dismantle cargo 1 here. There you go. Alright, so now everything is in cargo number 2 up here. Perfect. We can put away some of this stuff here. We're not going to need any of that right now. There we go. Alright. There's a lot of this stuff we'll be able to dismantle, like doors and so on. So let's get our base started first. Let's get an actual look-see out here, what it's like. Alright, how high up does this go? So it's pretty high up over the rest of the terrain. This might actually work out for us. We could make a 2-story type house. Oops, I don't really want to waste my jetpack. Until we can get some more ice, I don't want to waste the jetpack. There's plenty of ice down there, but you know, we don't want to destroy our scenery either. Alright, so we come over here, we got a nice little cliff face, so we can start our house, like, we'll bring our house all the way out to the edge of this cliff face here, we'll bring it up, and make like a nice glass overlook coming out. At least that's what I'm seeing in my head. You know, we'll see what actually happens once we get going. Yeah. So if this is the highest point here, we can align the base with this point, and then what we can do is, as it goes out that way, we can use some of that space underneath as a, I don't know, like a second underground, or like not really a basement, but a subfloor that we can put stuff into. Maybe refineries or something to keep them out of the main facility. I don't know. Anyway, we want to lay down our base initially to align with the mountains over there, since that's where we kind of want to build our bridge across, right? So we'll find the highest point. This actually looks like it lined up pretty nicely for us. It's lined up pretty nicely with that other side, so that's good. That'll be good. It won't necessarily be as good for that trench over there, but that's alright. I'm not real concerned with it. So let's go ahead and find our highest point of the peak here, and we will initiate our base. Yay, we got our first base. First base block anyway. Anyways, okay. Come on out. And we're going to need to get some power going. Initially, just so that we can have, you know, we can move our refinery and stuff over out of the ship. We're going to need to build some kind of rover or something to get ourselves some more resources. But we'll use up what we have in the ship first. We can always run around on foot and do what we got to do. And a small car doesn't take too much resource, so that's not too bad. What I'm thinking is, let's see, we're going to want to come all the way over to the edge of the cliff here. So we want to make it all the way over to there. So let's go ahead and build this out. Try not to fall off the cliff while I'm at it, because that would be bad. I want to attempt to go as long as we can without dying. You know, you would think that didn't really need to be said, but you know, this game can really get you going on the death part. Anyway, all right, that looks pretty good. What we'll do is we'll come forward a block or two, and then we'll angle in and follow. We'll follow this. I'm gonna go ahead and tear this tree down. Nice beta update. You can actually cut down trees now with grinders, so that's awesome. So that'll get that out of the way, and what we'll do is we'll follow the contours of the base along the edge of this cliff here. So let's see, go like that. So take a nice angle here. So I think we'll do another angle. One thing I don't like about the beta change is that the way the blocks, it used to be whenever you had a block, it would stay in the whatever angle you had it in, right? And now if you switch, so let's say I angle my block like so, it doesn't always do it, but occasionally, like if you take it off and then go back to it, it'll change the orientation. I've noticed that especially with solar panels. So this one's not seeming to do it right now, which is kind of funny because it did it to me a second ago when I was trying to put it down here. But it definitely does it with solar panels. I was trying to build a nice solar array up in space in one of my just little fun play games, and it was frustrating the heck out of me because it kept changing the orientation of the solar panels. Every time I would click off of the array, I would have to realign the solar panels, even though they were all going in the same direction, or I wanted them to all go in the same direction. So it was frustrating, very frustrating. Alright, I'm going to weld up some of these bottom ones that I won't be able to get to again. And we'll come back and change the coloring on these afterwards. Try and make it, I don't know, maybe blend more into, make it blend into the environment a little better. I don't really like the you know, big gray metal building sticking out. Maybe we'll color it brown or something so it kind of blends in a little better. But at the same time, we do want it to be, you know, my base, you know, prominent, standing out and proud on this cliffside. So yeah, this is going good. And then what we'll do is I think we'll hide, we'll build a solar array. I think we'll build a solar array right off the top of this, just for starters. We'll put a couple batteries, like maybe down here under the floor, since we're not really going to need to look at them. We just want them to hold some juice, right, to power our base. So we'll throw a couple batteries down here, and we'll put in a solar array, and that should give us at least an initial starting point for a base, and then we can start moving stuff over off the ship and get ourselves a smaller vehicle. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and lay down some of this framing here. I'm going to go ahead and lay down some more of the framing. I'll follow the cliff face around. Actually, I'm probably just going to end up going straight, but I'll follow the cliff face around, and I will be back in a moment. Alright guys, well, I just ran out of steel plates, and as you can see, I did not actually make it all that far around the mountain, around the cliff face yet. It's taken a lot more than I had thought it would. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to start dismantling the ship. So yeah, that'll be fun. We'll start at the top and start taking things apart, throwing it all into the inventory. So yeah, let me get working on that, and I'll be back again in a moment. Alright guys, we've got 2 batteries online now. I'm just welding up the last little bit of this one. You know, and I was thinking while running around that we might actually have made a mistake on our choice of landing patterns. So given the amount of snow, I'm wondering we might actually be pretty far up or down on the equator, which may or may not actually really hurt us as far as solar power is going to go. Because if you look around right now, and it looks like dusk. It's been looking like dusk for quite a while. So I'm kind of starting to get worried now. Anyway, let's get back to dismantling the ship. Alright guys, what do you think? I have turned our ship into a convertible. Yeah. Well, I was running out of energy, so I thought it might be a good idea to sit down in the seat and charge myself back up. Going along pretty good so far. I've got almost the whole top layer taken off. We'll get to those big old thrusters on the outside in a little while. I may actually just leave them. I'm thinking I might just chop the whole top of this thing off and maybe do a little redesign so we can use it as a scouting vehicle to find us some ore. We've got the refinery and everything in here, so it might not be a bad idea. We'll drop a GPS point on our base first, that way we don't lose it. And then, yeah, maybe just use this as a scouter. We've got 3 relatively fully charged batteries, so we can get a pretty good start going with those. We finish dismantling the top of this thing, and we'll get back to you guys in a minute. Alright, well, the ship truly is a convertible now. She's got left and right thrusters still. She's got up and down well, up thrusters. So if we put a forward and back thruster back on here, she will be flyable. And it's got a ore detector in it. As you can see, it's showing up the ice right there with the battery. So I think we'll throw a couple thrusters back on here, and this thing will actually be useful for a little while. On the same token, I was able to get a pretty good amount of steel plates. So I've got about 1,200 steel plates or so. It's not too bad. We're definitely going to have to go find some more iron though, because we're going to need a whole lot more steel plates than that. Whole lot more. So let me throw some thrusters back on here, and we'll see if we can't do a little scouting for some iron. Alright, I've got the forward and aft thrusters reinstalled on the lander. I just dropped a GPS point here in the middle of the base, so I called it Earth Base 1 for now. Still got no clue where the sun's going to come from, so it's seems a little brighter on this side than it does over here, so I'm going to guess the sun's coming up from this side. So I think before we leave, what I want to do is I'm going to throw down just a couple solar panels going left and right out here, and we'll see if that will hopefully get us a little bit of a charge before while we're out exploring. Maybe it'll charge up those batteries a little bit while we're gone. And these will just be a temporary just temporary solar panels just to charge up the batteries, and then we'll probably dismantle them a little bit later once we've got our outline a little more developed on how we want to do it. Just going to expand this a little bit here so we have a place to put the solar cells. Try not to use up too much of the steel plating because we're going to need it. In fact, I don't think I'm going to weld any of those top ones, just these bottom ones that are hard to get to later. I think this is going to look pretty good though. I like the way the grass is still there. I think it's going to look pretty sweet as we get going, guys. I think it's going to look pretty good. All right, so solar panels are 2 by 2 wide, I think. So should be good there. Find a place to get up. There we go. Alright, so that's 4. This should be good. So solar panel here. We'll stand them on end. And construction components. Now if you look at the component requirements, you may notice that the solar panels actually require a little more than normal. This is because of a mod. So I do have 10 mods installed right now. Most of them they don't really affect the game too much. One of them that does is this one, the solar panel mod. So what this does is it increases the output of solar panels 5 times 5. Now this is not free. It's not really a cheat in the way that you normally think of cheats, in that it does increase the output by 5, but it also requires 5 times the materials to make it. So you do have a trade-off. You do have a trade-off. So it still produces the same amount. It still uses the same amount of resources. It just essentially takes 1/5 the amount of space that would normally be used by solar panels. So, in fact, we probably don't even have may not have enough solar panels to even finish one of these. That would actually be highly amusing if a mod designed to help us out actually ends up hurting us. Let's see what some of the other mods I've got on here. I've got some extra block mods. So I've got what's called interior doors. So I got the interior door mod, which allows for interior doors. They're kind of like the outside doors, but they have glass panels on them. In fact, here I'll show you. So some of the mods. One of them is letters. So I added a mod for letters. I added a mod for interior doors. If I can find them. Here they are. So you got offset and you got in center, and all it is it's just like that. It's just a door with a glass window, so you can actually see through the door. I like it. It's a really nice door add-on. What other mods do we add? I added the nanite factory, though we're not going to be able to use that anytime soon because it takes a crap load of power. I added aerodynamics mods, so we can build a airplane if we so choose to. I added the consoles mod because I just love the way they look. They add so much more depth and realism to your bases and your ships and stuff. And then I also added the airtight hangar door because the built-in hangar doors for the game are very, very small. So the biggest one's only 2 blocks. You know, it only opens and closes 2 blocks. So when you put 2 of them together, you can get a maximum of 4 blocks. Which is, you know, it's okay for a small vessel, but if you start trying to build hangars and stuff for large-scale vessels, you can't do it. There's not enough there. So, oh look, we're gonna have enough. We should have enough for 1 solar panel. Anyway, so the airtight hangar doors just allows you to make larger hangar bays without having to futz around with the like merge blocks and linking and unlinking merge blocks, or playing around with the rotors or anything like that. So it's good. It's a mod I enjoy using. Alright, so we need that. Definitely gonna have to make some more solar panels. We're gonna need the power until we can find uranium. Once we can find some uranium, I think we'll be alright. Wow, I need a better welder. That's definitely going to be high on the priority list. A better welder and a better grinder. I guess with 5 times the components, it also takes 5 times the amount of time to weld the thing up. Alright, that's good enough for now. We've got one up and running. Let's see, the sky, is it still dark over there and still lighter over here? So if the sun comes up, I'm going to guess it's coming up over here, but we may be so far up on the equator that it's not going to come up for us, which would really, really not be good. Yeah. Oh, you know what? We're going to need an antenna. There we go. And bam, there you go. See, it's showing the ice now. So excellent. Plus, the large ships have a much better broadcast range for ore detectors. The ore detector on the large ship does, I think it's like 300 or something like that, whereas the small ships only do like 75 or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, let's go ahead and I'm going to set up the controls here real quick, and then we'll start exploring. Alright, I have got the panel all set up. I'd like to have the batteries set where I can put them to recharge, because then I know, especially if you hook up a solar panels or whatever to your ship, you can start recharging it whenever you're not using it, once you park it, and so on and so forth. I like having that in my setup. Then we've got the reactor if we have to use it, don't want to use it if we don't have to, but we've got it there if we do. The thrusters, and then the locking mechanism for the gear. Now, one thing I want to grab out of here before we start exploring is I want to re-grab my drill. Now, let's see, it came with spare tools in the box, so let's get rid of these extra tools. We'll keep the ones we've got on us, we'll keep the gun and the ammo for now. But I think I want to dismantle the rest of these just to get that little bit of resources. Oh, I probably didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. Okay, there we go. I forgot that it still had all the girders in there. There we go. Gets rid of the girders. So now we got a little bit of resources. What I really wanted to see is if, I doubt it, but I was hoping it might be able to make a better one. Enhanced. We need silver, but we can make it enhanced. Let's see, silver. We have 2 oxygen bottles, right? Yeah, I wonder if that would be enough silver. If we dismantle the 2 oxygen bottles, I wonder if that would provide us enough silver to make a good tool. It's going to make me transfer it over there, isn't it? Let's see. There we go. Alright, so we've got 2 silver now. Let's see. Production, assembly. Yes, we can make the proficient welder. What about... Okay, so we're going to need to do some mining. So let's make ourselves a better drill first, because that's honestly going to be a little more important than welding at this point. But now we have enough left over, we can make a welder. Ooh, but we don't have enough for a grinder. Okay, that's alright. That's alright. We're still in a lot better shape than we were. And speaking of which, this is the other mod. So you notice the items are all colored. That was another one of the mods. It adds color to your inventory items, which I really, really like that mod as well. It's very... It adds more depth to the game, I think. Anyway, let's go ahead and we'll get rid of these 2 since we don't need those anymore. Sweet. All right, let's throw on our thrusters, disable our locks here, and let's go look for some iron, because that is what we're short on at the moment. It's a good view from up here though, so I can see, hopefully you guys can see what I meant. So that ravine right there, we'll leave that, and we'll have our house come out and around and follow this cliff face, and then do the same thing on the other side, and then just leave that ravine like running down the middle with a nice bridge going across. It's gonna make a very, very large house, apparently. And it won't make, we won't do all one house. We'll do, like a large platform with several buildings on it. I don't know, figure something out. What, while I'm in the ship, I want to come over and see what this dark spot has to offer. I'm going to laugh if this is iron, and we just went all the way over there to find iron, and it would be right here. Silicone, magnesium. Oh, uranium! Hello! Yeah! Definitely got to get our bridge and house going over here so we can get a mine under this side. Yes! Uranium, guys. We are set for power. If we can get some of that mined up. Thinking maybe that side will have an underground refining station, maybe. Just throw the uranium straight into the refinery underground. What do y'all think? Make a nice descending stairway down to the uranium? I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? We'll see what you think. I'll wait. We'll see what the comments say. Go ahead and drop down here. Lock up our gear. Turn off our thrusters. All right. Alright, well, we've got lots of parts, or, well, we got medium amount of resources. I wouldn't go with a lot. We've got a medium amount. We have almost enough to build another solar panel here. We need 320 if I'm not mistaken, and we already had 50 something. It looks like I put the entire wrong direction. Alright. So we got to remember this. The sun rises behind that majestic peak over there. So our solar cells need to align with this way. My inventory's full though, so there. Let me grab some steel plates, just a couple of them, and we'll realign. Let's see, we'll grab 100. And we'll grab all of those. And you know what? We'll just grab the rest of those while we're here. Alright. And let's realign. Like I said, these are just temporary. They're not going to stay here. They are just to get us power, a surplus of power going. So let's go ahead and drop this bad boy here. See how our new welder does. That's a lot faster. Excellent. There we go, full charge. Excellent. Alright, so the sun seemed to raise from here. It looks like it's arcing in this direction. So I'm going to guess that this will work for a while, and this one will probably work for later in the afternoon. I'm going to guess it's going to arc like this. So my bet is it's going to raise over these peaks and set over those peaks. That's my guess. That's my bet. I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think? What's your bet? Which direction do you think it's going to go? What do you think? Anyway, and let me know what you guys think about the underground refinery, because I think definitely got to get the uranium, and I don't want to really destroy the landscape by making a mine, so I'm thinking an under base mine. An under base mine would be good, because then it would be hidden, and actually could be decorative if we do it right. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more of this series, by all means let me know. If you don't like it, go ahead, give it a thumbs down, but leave a comment, let me know why you didn't like it, alright? I can't improve if you don't tell me what I do wrong, you know? Anyway, so I'm going to jump back in my seat here for recharge. Yes, I know it's a temporary ship. I know. Anyway, alright guys, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on the next one. Have a good one.